Your PS5 is finally getting the makeover it deserves. We now know a huge chunk of the games we're getting with PS Plus Extra and Premium, and we got some big leaks on that Last of Us remake. So joining me today to talk about it all is Mr. Ray Trevino, the host of Xbox Ready. And before I jump into it all, I want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by me. Yes, I have so many links down in my description for any PS5 accessory you might need. Let's talk about these PS Plus games because I saw a lot of negativity surrounding it. I looked at this list. This list is awesome.
Well, first of all, because I'm in agreement.
It seems like the biggest issue people have is that they've played a lot of the games included on it before, but it's like, what are you expecting them doing? Just invent games like to drop? You want them to drop like 25 games you've never heard of? No, they're including some really good high-profile PlayStation exclusives on top of some of the best third-party games we've gotten over the past few years, like Guardians of the Galaxy and Control are on there. That's great.
Isn't Red Dead Redemption 2
Yes.
also on there?
Yes.
So it's a third-party list? That's
Which is an incredible
game for sure.
I wish Rockstar would wake up and support that game again because it's incredible. They need to do a 60 FPS patch.
But I think this is a pretty impressive list, especially because this seems like a beefier version of the PlayStation Classics, which I've been enjoying so much.
Oh, the PS Plus collection?
Yes, the PS Plus collection, it allows you to play some of the greatest hits.
Oh my god, this list is like made for you. I forgot you didn't have a PS4.
I missed out on a lot of PlayStation 4 stuff, so I've been catching it up with my PS5, with my PS Plus collection, playing all the stuff that I missed last generation, and this just seems like a beefier version of that. You get to play like a ton of Front Software games, Bloodborne, Demon Souls. It's the remake,
the PS5 version of Demon Souls, yeah, and that's a really, really good looking game. Like, you think Elden Ring looks good, you got to try out Demon Souls. That game, whew, graphically, big step up for the franchise.
Both Spider-Man games, and I think that eliminates the big gripe that a lot of people have on Miles Morales, and it just feels like a DLC. Well, now you can play both.
But it's consistently like the top seller on the charts every month.
Great game.
You've got Gravity Rush 2 and Gravity Rush Remastered. If you've never played those games, they're like Japanese superhero games where you play as this character named Cat, where if you hit both triggers, it turns off gravity. And it was great on Vita because you could use the gyroscope to turn the camera and then turn on gravity to fall different directions. That's kind of how she fought. Gravity Rush 2 was a PS4 exclusive. Super good game, super underrated. My physical copy is very valuable. All of the Uncharted games.
All of the Uncharted
like
games?
Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. You get Uncharted 4, you get Uncharted The Lost Legacy. That is a really good inclusion there. I already mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy, but you also get Mortal Kombat 11. I'm hoping that's the ultimate edition of the game. I got straight up addicted to that. I played all 3 of the remake trilogy games before the movie came out, and 11 is so much fun.
I'm impressed with the third-party stuff, I feel. I mean, they have a couple of Far Cry games on there, which is the one Ubisoft game that is not on Game Pass for myself.
You got every variation of Far Cry 3 you can think of.
The Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I think is interesting because, I was excited for Assassin's Creed Origins to come to Game Pass because news of that broke not too long ago. But it's kind of looking at this. PS Plus subscribers are going to get the newest version of Assassin's Creed as part of that subscription. But there are some notable missing games on here, I feel like. First of all, it's interesting that MLB The Show 2022, which used to be PlayStation only, is not a part of the subscription service, but it's on Game Pass.
That is bizarre. I'm sure it's just because Sony really aggressively wants to stick to like a schedule, like where they have to say a game has to be out for X amount of months or years before it can be included on this list, because they've been very clear that we are not going to see day one exclusives coming to this service.
Very clear. Yeah, they've had some strong words, which I personally don't agree with.
Yeah, the Xbox side of the fence.
Yeah, they're saying first party editions day one would dilute the quality of the games, which I'm not convinced of, but we don't have to get into that.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. That's where I think it's lacking a little bit, is with these classics. You can tell already what they're doing. They're going to dole them out month to month or week to week. They're going to be like, oh, this new batch is coming. I bet around September or October we'll see Resident Evil, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 making their way over. I don't like that approach because these games were already available on 2 other consoles. Yeah. Like, just drop them all at once.
Just drop them all. And what do you think about the PlayStation 3 streamable options? Because you've said in the past before that PS3, that was like peak for you in a lot of ways.
I'm not going to mess with that. I've messed with PS Now. I did a video on this channel like right after I started it. And PS Now is not good. It's fine, but if you're streaming PS3 games, they're already not streaming at a high resolution. I think it maxes out. It says 1080p, but not many PS3 games actually ever got to that achievement. So you're playing a 720p game streamed at around 30 frames per second, and Sony's streaming technology is decent. It's just not amazing, right? There's input latency, you get blocky textures. I'll wait for them to announce the emulation. That's going to be a good PR point, right? Like in a year or two, when they say, yep, we're bringing PS3 emulation to the PS5. They did the same thing with the Vita. Like when the Vita launched, you could download all your old PSP games that you bought digitally, and it was cool, but everyone was like, where are PS1 games? And when PS1 games came to the Vita a few months later, it was a big news story because you had a ton of great games immediately available to play on the Vita, and the original Vita had an OLED screen. So playing these games at 4:3 wasn't that bad because they looked really good. Doesn't bug me that much. I'm glad that they're not screwing people and they're letting you re-download the games you already purchased. They say select games. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be the vast majority. I feel like that's just legally covering their ass in case Square Enix is like, no, we don't want people to be able to download Parasite Eve, the third birthday, if they bought it on PSP. You know, like, I feel like they're just putting that language there just in case some publisher wants to be stupid about it. So yeah, this is a pretty quality list. It's a good start, I think. It actually gets me kind of excited knowing that the games I already bought are going to be available to be downloaded outside the subscription. That's Sony doing a good thing. That makes me more inclined to pay for the service, even though I technically don't have to anymore.
Right, yeah, you can download your games, but you also have the option to explore some of these new games that you have said previously, oh, they've already played these games, but not everyone. Me, for
yeah,
example,
play Returnal. Everyone needs to play Returnal. That game's underrated. But next up, we have to talk about this Last of Us remake because the rumors are swirling, and it kind of ties in to this new PS Plus offering because one very notable absence is The Last of Us Part 2. Last of Us Part 2 has been out for over a year. You'd think it would kind of show up on this list.
Around the same time, if Spider-Man Miles Morales is on there, you would assume that Last of Us 2 would also make an appearance. Yeah, strangely enough, not on there.
It's kind of got people thinking about a director's cut. And on top of that, there is apparently a remake of The Last of Us that was started by an internal team at Sony that basically worked on like assets and engine stuff. They decided to start remaking The Last of Us. Sony was interested in it when they brought what they had worked on to it. And then Naughty Dog was like, okay, we're going to take this over as our project. And the rumors are basically saying that, yeah, it's a done deal for the later half of this year.
Yeah, Jeff Grubb has said he's confident that this thing is going to release sometime before the end of the year. Hopefully it kind of lines up with the spooky season, Halloween season, because there's not much action coming on that front. We were talking about in my Xbox Ready video, The Chant, I think, is the only one that is coming out in the horror genre.
Yeah, and people are pretty sure that God of War Ragnarok is going to get delayed. So yeah, that's a good game to fill that holiday spot. Sony traditionally, as you're saying, doesn't fill a holiday spot. They kind of let other developers fight over that. So I could see definitely this Last of Us remake coming out in September. Imagine if this director's cut, right, is the Last of Us Part 2 director's cut, which gives you, I don't know, 4K, 60 FPS, like that patch that we already got. It comes with the new multiplayer mode, and it comes along with a remaster or remake of The Last of Us 1 in The Last of Us 2 engine.
That would be sick. Remind me when the TV show was supposed to come out?
That's going to be 2023
okay,
too.
Because I was thinking maybe they could line it up with...
Oh yeah, but that's also smart to release it before, right? It gets people excited, right? When they watch the TV show, they can say, oh, maybe I want to try the game. And then they have The Last of Us 1 on PS5, The Last of Us 2 on PS5, and this multiplayer game, which honestly, the rumors about that multiplayer game, that's what gets me excited. This has evolved from Factions. Did you ever play Factions?
Yeah, I did.
It was so good. I loved it. But this is going to be like a full-on open world-ish game where it's going to be Escape from Tarkov Light. So you'll take your character into this big open map, and it's going to have PvP and PvE. If that rumor turns out to be true, oh man, you're going to never see me again. I'm going to be just devoting my life to this game. So yeah, honestly, the timing is perfect for a Last of Us remake. Like if you look at what's going on in the gaming industry right now, you've got Starfield Battlefield and Redfall being delayed into 2023. It looks like God of War is going to be delayed as well. Sony has it's not going to get overshadowed is basically the point I'm getting to. Like, The Last of Us remake is not going to be this like mind-blowing exclusive for the PS5. It'll probably sell well. It's just not going to be crazy because, you know, The Last of Us is still kind of fresh in people's minds. It's almost 10 years old, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
definitely
believe
fresh
that.
in my mind because I just beat it in like
yeah,
for the
I
first
play it
time.
every year around Halloween, so it's still going to be fresh in my mind. But I don't know. I've been a huge Naughty Dog fan ever since I got my PS3. Uncharted is basically my favorite game series. It's at the tippy top, right there with Metal Gear, and the shooting in Uncharted games and The Last of Us 1, it's fine. Last of Us 2 is where I think Naughty Dog really figured it out, how to make the combat feel good. So yeah, I would love to play The Last of Us.
Yeah, that stuff is so smooth, especially The Last of Us 2 is one of those games where, you know, I play it and I'm serviceable at the game. Then I see someone on TikTok doing like the smoothest combat stuff, like they're a Navy SEAL sliding, punching, throwing grenades.
Yeah,
I'm like
Sony Legend.
Am I playing the game wrong? Like, what is going on?
But yeah, while it sucks that all these big games are getting delayed, it's good that we'll have something to look forward to.
They have
this
stuff
fall.
in the pocket. They have stuff that they're cooking up, these companies.
I like
for
surprises, for sure. And we'll probably see it in a future showcase, which I'll talk about in a future video. So next up, we got to talk about plates for your PS5 because these were announced a while ago.
Oh God,
people have been
finally.
able to like order some of them, but not others. And now officially you are able to get all of the different colors for your plates and your controller. So Sony's going with the space theme on the PS5, and the options you have are Nova Pink, Starlight Blue, Galactic Purple, and then they've already had released Cosmic Red and Midnight Black in addition to the regular white. Midnight Black does not fit the space theme.
These sound like Gatorade flavors.
Yeah, they do.
honestly. No one's gonna be referring to these as Midnight Black, Cosmic Blue, whatever. They're just gonna be like, yo, give me those blue plates, son. Let me slap those on.
So these plates are around $55, which means they're making probably a pretty healthy markup on these things.
I assume coming directly from Sony as a first party accessory. I
Yeah.
would assume they're gonna be a little bit nicer than what you would find on Etsy, Amazon, these third-party sites.
It's funny how this whole thing started because D-Brand made their dark plates, right? And they didn't have the PlayStation
Right, the ones
logo.
without the fins, right? They
Well,
just
they
kinda-
had ones that looked exactly like this, but it didn't have the little PlayStation cutout. They basically said, Sony, we dare you to sue us because you can't. Like, you haven't patented this design. And then Sony went ahead and patented the design and then sued them and then released their own plates. And now you have a different option on D-Brand, which is like no fins because it's their own design for the PS5 plates.
I do like that. I do. I mean, it has the kind of exposed fan almost. Yeah.
I don't love the design of the PS5 overall.
It's kind of grown on me, I will
Yeah,
admit. But
under my
overall,
TV, the black one looks.
I don't. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't. When it first came out and it first leaked, and everyone was comparing it to a Wi-Fi router. I mean, that's accurate, right? And on top of that, it takes up a ton of space. So you see a lot of these people mounting it under their desk, mounting it on the TV. It still doesn't look good, but at least it's out of the way.
The interesting thing here is this kind of signifies to me that this design is going to stick around for a little while. I know that people who haven't been able to get a PS5 are kind of worried at this point that they're going to buy one that they see in the store like tomorrow, and then next summer we're going to get a PS5 Slim or a PS5 Pro.
That looks amazing.
But they're just releasing new plates for this thing now. I'm sure that also comes down to supply chain issues, but they wouldn't put all of that resource development, money, and time into making these plates now if they're just going to come out with a new design that doesn't use those same plates in a year.
It's free money for them, right? I mean, you can't over on your Xbox rip off the side of your Xbox and replace it with another Xbox plate. I mean, this is something that is right now is specific to Sony. I mean, we sort of see something similar to that with the Joy-Con. You get different colored Joy-Cons, different styles. You slap that on, and that becomes part of the design of your Switch.
What I'd really like to see is with newer games like God of War Ragnarok, this Last of Us remake, potentially The Last of Us 3 whenever that comes out, whatever they're working on, instead of having special edition consoles, I think it would be sweet if they released special edition plates. They did a PS4 Pro when The Last of Us 2 came out that had Ellie's tattoo etched into it, and it's super cool. And I just can't help but think how awesome it would be to have the same thing, but these plates. Like, you get a black set of plates that either have like the spores coming up them, Ellie's tattoo, and then you get like the Naughty Dog logo instead of the PlayStation logo.
Like, instead of buying a whole new console that you pretty much already already have.
Right.
It's definitely more appealing just to spend an extra
they're not making
like
money
$60
on the consoles.
than and interchange them.
Yeah,
and
you
then
make money on the
as
plates.
other games like that come out, like you were saying, God of War Ragnarok comes out, and you want to change the plates to match, that moment in your gaming life. That would be a lot more appealing than buying a whole new special edition console.
And then they could release a way to mount them on your wall when you're not using them. Like the design side of it, they're the right shape, right? And they have that nice like curve to them. If you had a way to like mount it in a cool grid behind your TV, all of your special edition plates, that could look awesome. So the black and cosmic red have been available and are available. The other ones are coming June 17th. They are available on the PlayStation Store now, directly from PlayStation Direct. Sony has said they will be starting to be available in other stores like Best Buy, Amazon, Target. Personally, the two first ones they released are my favorite. I'm just gonna be real.
Black and red.
Yeah, black or red. It's kind of like a cool Miles Morales look. You can get a black plates with a red DualSense. I like that two-tone look.
The purple is clean. I'm not gonna lie. The purple is clean. I think it'd be really cool if they had like a mix match thing with the black and red. Black plate on one side, red plate on the other side. Do you think they're gonna be hard to get? Do you think they're gonna fly off the shelves? And as we've seen with other
I think
accessories.
Yeah. If you order them from Sony, I think you'll be fine. They got to be smart about this, right? They're not going to mass produce these things to unimaginable numbers. They're going to make about as many as they think people will buy. Make sure if you do end up buying these plates, you buy the right ones for your console.